The Vault of Glass returns next season, and with it, many secrets will be brought back to life, and maybe even some new ones unearthed as we venture to take out Atheon. Today we are going to dive into those mysteries of the Vault of Glass and try to uncover the lost history of the characters like Praedyth who may still be out there in the depths of time. Let's get right into it.
The Vault of Glass. It is one of the Vanguard's greatest triumphs. The destruction of time's conflux. A victory over the Vex collective mind. From deep in that vault, we've received a signal laced with an old Vanguard. Vex technology disrupts the weft and weave of time itself. If a Guardian has become lost, unstuck in time, we must return them home.
The Vault of Glass is an enormous structure created by the Vex on Venus. Here, the past, present, and the future all meet together to converge inside the vault itself, and this, of course, if you don't know, was the first raid released by Bungie for Destiny 1. The goal of the Vex here was to free themselves from the constraints of physical reality, weave themselves into the fabric of reality itself, and become something more, something divine. We came across many different enemies. First there was the Templar and the Oracles. The Oracles were said to be essentially supercomputers within the Vex network. They would search and scour through all these different timelines and tell the Templar which one of them they could win in so they can progress forward with their plan. So the whole goal of any Guardian who entered the vault was 1. To destroy the Vex threat and stop them from doing the stuff with time, and 2. Make sure you didn't get erased from time itself, something that happened to previous explorers. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Within the vault, there's also these weird-looking harpies called the Gorgons. If you remember this encounter, this was a pretty cool one. It was a stealth encounter where you had to get to the end without any of these Gorgons detecting you. Now story-wise, you couldn't let them see you because if they did, they would erase you from time. These were also supercomputer-type Vex enemies, and if they seen something they didn't think belonged, they would erase it from time. Boom, it was gone. The vault was controlled or ran by Atheon times Conflux. Now some may pronounce that Atheon as the speaker said in the Age of Triumph cutscene or whatever, but I'm just going to stick with Atheon. So Atheon was the final boss of the raid itself. He had the power to control time within the vault, sending Guardians to different timelines during his final encounter, and he was the big man in charge of trying to diverge all of these timelines. Before we ever entered the vault though, there was another fire team. They made a last-ditch attempt to stop the Vex. They ventured into the vault on their own, and things didn't go so well. So this fire team of 3 went in. Some of them were erased from time, but one managed to escape, sacrificing themselves for our Guardians to take out Atheon once and for all with the knowledge they gained. So there was a full fire team of Guardians that entered the vault. Their names were Praedyth, Kabr, and Pahanin. Kabr and his fire team entered the vault and got as far as the Templar before suffering their fate. Kabr was said to have carved a path of light into the vault, allowing the traveler's presence to be felt. This was the only way they could have a chance at survival and go in there in the first place, I guess. Around the Templar, Kabr crafted some armor with some of the Vex bodies that were just laying around, and as they tried to find a way to take out the Oracles and progress forward, this armor began to corrupt Kabr, take over his body and consume him from within. His last words were apparently this: "No one can open the vault alone. I opened the vault. There was no one with me, but I was not alone." Kabr made a sacrifice, and in that sacrifice he created the Aegis, a shield wielded by our own fire teams in the raid, allowing us to take out the Vex and stop them for good, something Kabr's fire team was unable to do. The next Guardian was Praedyth, a Guardian believed to be a myth by many because he was erased from time.
I have no idea where I am. My name is Praedyth, and I was a member of Kabr's fire team. I just hope someone can hear this.
Praedyth. I've heard that name before. Scattered pieces of gear, references in the margin of a text. He is real.
We only know what happened to this Guardian from a mission I believe titled Paradox, where we learned his fate. Praedyth was of course dead, killed during this encounter with his fire team, but there was evidence that he may still exist in another timeline.
These bones are centuries old. There's a faint echo of light. This was a Guardian once. Ikora, I'm sorry we couldn't bring him back.
Do not apologize. Guardian, you have reclaimed his name from oblivion. In a way, he lives again in the Vanguard archives. Kabr and Pahanin, Praedyth and the Vault of Glass. Because of you, his tale will be told.
Lastly, there was Pahanin, the only known member to survive this Vault of Glass encounter. So we are unsure how they did this, but they would eventually venture back to the city, I believe, and then was killed by Dredgen Yor sometime later. So these stories are incredible. The sacrifices of this fire team allowed us to take out Atheon sometime later. Everything they did led to the reason that the Time's Conflux was killed. But there's some questions. Praedyth may still be alive. In fact, it's even implied that he is in another timeline, but may only exist within the vault. So will we see more Praedyth in the future? Perhaps maybe even next season when the vault returns? I mean, we've been through the Infinite Forest and explored the many timelines in the corridors of time, so could we technically meet him one day if we don't see him or bring him back in the vault? According to some lore from the Season of the Undying, which was the Vex season we had a while back, it seems Praedyth is looking to escape. One line says, Praedyth has watched from himself for longer than he knows how to quantify, sitting inside, looking out. He's seen so many different timelines, there's no way to know which are real. From a certain point of view, they might all be. So this whole book seems to be talking about the Vex, how they view time travel, time itself, and Praedyth either trying to explain to us how this works or getting sort of visions from his past and then other Guardians. So we all know about the Ishtar team that got stuck in the Vex network while experimenting on that one goblin. I believe in this book, Praedyth recognizes that these team members are in the network, and Praedyth also happened to be there, so they could have worked together in trying to formulate an escape. So regardless of what happened in that book, it seems that Praedyth was trying to escape being stuck in this Vex prison he describes it as. Next, in Bungie's post a couple of weeks ago, the Vault section is labeled Praedyth's Revenge. So this could be some more hints right there that he could be coming back, getting his revenge, or it's just a nod to the weapon title from the first game. With the Vault's return next season, it seems we won't be getting Venus. A community manager, I believe from France, noted that we are getting the Vault and not Venus. So not sure if this means the first encounter won't exist, maybe we get teleported inside the Vault itself, or perhaps it does exist, it's just that we aren't going to explore the rest of Venus, only this starting area, and there'll be barriers around. So about 4 months ago there was a leak on Reddit. Now this doesn't seem true given the things that have unfolded currently, but who knows, maybe some information here got messed up. I figured I'd just read it in case it does come true, because I think it'd be pretty interesting. It says the Vault of Glass returns next season in the Season of Time, which we know didn't happen. The Last Wish raid has been updated with a new time-gated secret puzzle containing oracles, which unlocks a new story mission with related lore implications. So we do know there's been some oracle sounds in the Last Wish raid. Not sure if Bungie has commented on what that was, but perhaps this user heard those sounds and then just tied this into the leak. Next, they say the Vault of Glass will have stasis-infused Vex, a heroic difficulty, and return all gear from the original raid, including a stasis-themed Vex Mythoclast. So again, that's a leak, believe what you will until we actually see it, but having some of that gear return, maybe even the Age of Triumph stuff which looked epic, and maybe even the Vex Mythoclast would be pretty awesome. But Guardians, that's all we got for today's Vault of Glass Mysteries video. Do you think Praedyth is going to return, and how will the Vault of Glass encounter change into Destiny 2? We know the raid itself is mostly going to be the same, but will they throw in some new secrets? Will there be stasis-infused enemies, or what's gonna go down? If you'd like to see some more mystery videos just like this one, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. My name's Evade, and I'll catch you Guardians in the next one.